Welcome back. You're watching Newscentre. The government has released guidelines to curb fake reviews on websites. These guidelines, which have been developed by the Bureau of Indian Standards, will come into effect from 25th of November. Speaking to Timsi Jaipuria, Consumer Affairs Secretary Rohit Kumar Singh said the government will consider making these guidelines mandatory if self-regulation does not work and complaints continue. Take a look.
So there is a mechanism to filter out fake and non-genuine reviews. Paid reviews are admissible, but there has to be a disclosure. Like if you see the Google search engine, when you search something, the first 2-3 results will have an AD written as a prefix before the result. So that means it's an advertisement. So the user knows that this is an advertisement and the real search results start maybe from number 4. So similarly, if there is a paid review, if there's a third-party review, there has to be a disclosure. I think the key paradigm of this standard is disclosure.
When it comes to the conformity, it would take about a month's time to actually avail this certification. But in the meantime, how do you see these guidelines being followed by the industry? Will industry voluntarily comply to these? Have you got any assurance from the industry? Industry was consulted as well?
Yeah, of course, industry was consulted. And I would also like to clarify that we are not starting from scratch. Many websites already have systems to handle fake reviews. But we want a level playing field and we want everybody to be at the same page when it comes to a mechanism to handle fake reviews.
Yeah. What sort of a review did you get from industry, whether they wanted this to be mandatory to begin with or they wanted voluntary compliance?
The industry wanted it to happen. We have not discussed the mandatory and voluntary part because it helps the industry also, because it helps the menace of the adverse review inducement by the competitors. So it helps the industry. It's a win-win proposition for both.
When it comes to penal provisions, what are they?
The penal provisions are same as are for under the Consumer Protection Act and Central Consumer Protection Authority rules. So if a review is fake and it is established, then it falls under the category of unfair trading practice and the penalties will remain the same.
So you will make them mandatory in future, these guidelines?
We will see how it evolves, how it rolls out. If the self-regulation works and if the industry complies on their own, then there's no need of making it mandatory. But if we see a lot of non-compliance, a lot of complaints, then we'll have to go to the appropriate authority to explore whether it could be made mandatory.
All right, that was the Consumer Affairs Secretary speaking to Timsi Jaipuria on how the government will be tackling the menace of fake reviews. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Newscentre. News continues on CNBC-TV18. Stay tuned.